sermon time. Promise. I'm going to do some words I'd like to share with you. I am beginning to feel a little bit like Job. Anybody know who Job was? He was a biblical character who in a brief period of time was severely tested by God, experiencing one misfortune after another. For those of you who are here on Rosh Hashanah, you know that I'm healing from an illness called Bell's palsy. And that has actually frozen half of my face in the space of 10 minutes, and I couldn't blink, I couldn't drink from anything but a straw, and I could hardly talk, and I definitely couldn't sing. But I'm healing about 70% of the way, thank God. Then, last Tuesday morning, my car was hit from behind on a freeway. I was spun around, and I flipped on one side. When the car finally came to a stop, I looked around, and I said, oh my God, I'm alive, and I could move, I'm okay. And then I thought, having watched one too many cop shows, I better turn off the ignition, and I better release my seatbelt so that they can pull me out of the car. I heard sirens wailing, and I heard people rushing towards me, and I yelled out of my rear window, which was shattered completely. I yelled out, I'm alive, and I'm okay. Yeah. And I heard voices say, she's alive, how are we gonna get her out of there? And then I'm sitting in the car, and I'm looking, and I noticed that the side airbag had deployed. And I thought, I didn't know I had side airbags. Who knew? Next thing, I knew that my door was pointing towards the sky, was pulled out, and 3 guys wearing Raphael's Party Rentals uniforms were instructing me how to get out of the car. So I handed them my backpack, which had my computer in it, my keys, which were on the floor, my 2 phones, also on the floor, a spare pair of glasses that had fallen out of that, that little compartment that's in the top that you put your glasses on, and the 1 shoe that I could find. And I held out my arms, and they miraculously pulled me to safety. Among the passersby who stopped, and there were quite a few of them, there was a man who said, I'm a minister. May I bless you? And I said, oh, I'm Jewish clergy. Yes, please. He laid his hands on my head, and although I did not understand most of what he was saying because it was in Spanish, what I did understand was his kindness, his compassion, and his heartfelt sincerity. Then, as I was sitting on the ground, because they made me sit on the ground, and I was waiting for the ambulance to arrive, a man whose car had actually hit me, he had pulled over, and he made his way back to me, and he was just shaking, and he was in tears, and he said, I'm so sorry. And my response was to ask him his name. It was Richard. And I put my hand on his shoulder, and I said, Richard, that is a pile of metal. I'm alive, and I'm okay. And that is all that matters. I hope that brought him some kind of comfort. So I want to tell you, I'm going to go back a little bit, that as my car was spinning, because he hit me so hard, I didn't know what happened. I mean, I knew what happened, but I didn't see it coming, because he had actually clipped me from behind. These were truly the most terrifying moments of my entire life. I remember clearly gripping the steering wheel, and I was crying out, please, God, don't take me now, not like this. I'm not done here. But I do remember there was this moment when I actually felt myself letting go of the fear. And I realized, you have absolutely no control over this situation. My life was really in God's hands. You know, sometimes I accuse God of not listening to my prayers. I'm never going to do that again. Because I'm truly grateful that this time when it really, 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 really mattered, God was listening and chose to save my life. One of the things that we sing on this day is Shema KOLEINU. Hear our voice, O Lord God. Spare us and have mercy upon us, and accept our prayer in mercy and favor. Shema KOLEINU, Adonai Eloheinu, whose merachem aleinu, aleinu, v'kabel berachmim, berachmim uv'rachatzon, et tefilateinu. On Yom Kippur, we specifically ask God to listen to us and hear our prayers. As I told you on Rosh Hashanah, I don't really believe that God is sitting up there and keeping score and deciding that as a result of your actions this year, that you're going to either be inscribed in the book of life or you're not. I really don't think it works that way, but it is a nice metaphor. But our Jewish tradition does teach us that on some level, even one that we cannot comprehend, there are consequences to our actions. Maybe not now, but on some cosmic, karmic level that we may never understand. And just as we're asking God to listen to our prayers, we need to listen to each other. When you're having a conversation with someone, are you really listening to what they're saying? Or are you like already planning what your next thing that you're going to say? And if someone has a point of view that doesn't agree with yours, are you open to at least listening to what they have to say? Or are you sitting in judgment of them? I'm not referring to people who are full of hate and bigotry, because there is absolutely no room in my life for that, and I certainly hope that not in yours either. But not everybody agrees with my opinions on every subject. So what? I have friends who are my polar opposite on politics and many other topics of the day. Does that make them not worthy of my friendship, of my compassion, of my love? I don't think so. Because these people would give me the shirt off their back, and I would give mine to them. I think that we have reached a point in our history where we have stopped listening to each other. At least that's what it seems like to me. How can we hope that God is going to listen to us if we're not even willing to listen to each other and at least have a mutually respectful conversation? In the Unatana Toka prayer that we say on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we'll say it tomorrow, we refer to Yom Kippur as Yom Hadin, the day of judgment. And that's the day that God is supposed to judge our actions and hold us accountable for our behavior. But in our Yom Kippur prayers, we're asking God to judge us with compassion. And we're asking God to listen to us before judging us. Shouldn't we be doing the same thing with our fellow human beings? In a court of law, people are entitled to a fair trial. And the judge and the jury listen carefully to each other's perspectives before rendering judgment. But in today's highly polarized society, it is too easy to rush to judgment without listening to someone else's point of view. I hope that we will all try to listen more attentively to other people, to their stories, to their perspectives, before judging their behavior. So the day after the accident, hard to believe that I got back in the car. Actually, I got back in the car that day. But I was heading to Staples. And I was walking, a bit slowly. I was a little shaken up still. But so as I was crossing from the parking lot to the store, there was a car waiting for me. And I wondered if they were irritated by my slowness. Maybe if they had known my story, maybe they wouldn't feel that way. And since I've had the Bell's palsy, I can't really fully smile at people. And I'm always wondering, are they judging me? Do they think maybe I'm a snob or a mean girl? Maybe I'm unfriendly? And I want to tell everybody, I'm really not any of those things. And now I am so very conscious of my behavior. How quickly am I judging other people? I can tell you this, that this is a definite item on my I want to do better list for this coming year. And I want to ask you one more thing. How are you judging yourself? Are you quick to criticize yourself? Or do you have compassion for where you are and who you are at this point, this very point in your life? In the year ahead, I hope that you will look deeply into your own heart and realize that you are on a path and a journey. And as such, please treat yourself with the kindness and respect that you deserve. I want to confess something. I like fortune cookies. I had one this week when I was spoiling myself at a fast food place, whose name shall be, not said. But inside my little fortune cookie, it said 2 words: share joy. It is a simple, yet a very profound imperative. So I'd like to leave you with my expanded version of that sentiment. Share joy. Share compassion. Share wisdom. Share love. Reserve judgment. I want to wish you Gemar Chatima Tova. May you be inscribed in the book of life, metaphorically and in reality. And may you be blessed with joy and peace in your heart, a sense of honor and compassion today, tomorrow, in the coming year, and for the rest of your lives.